Video is about fact checking using a psychological model. And I'd like to introduce two concepts that are illustrated by Aesop's fables. The first is the crow and pitcher, and that illustrates a motivated tactician, which is a psychological model. And we'll come back to that in a minute. The other is the fox and the grapes, and that's also an Aesop's fable that illustrates a cognitive miser. And we'll go into more depth probably in another video. I just want to make this short so you understand what's going on here. So let's focus on the crow and the pitcher. And it turns out that crows actually have an intelligence level that equals chimpanzees. And Aesop's noticed this about 2,000 years ago. And it's only recently been proven by science that crows actually have really strong problem-solving skills, and they actually use tools to solve problems. And we'll just demonstrate this real quickly here. So that's it. The crow is able to pick up pebbles to displace the water so it can drink it. And that's contrasted with the fox and the grapes. In this video, the fox can't reach the grapes. And rather than accepting the fact that it was a bad decision to try to jump up here, he just blamed it on the grapes being sour. And that's also based in reality, and that illustrates a psychological principle called cognitive dissonance. And that basically is a fancy word for rationalizing. And the English term sour grapes actually comes from this Aesop's fable. So these are the two stories that we want to use to model a motivated tactician and a cognitive miser. And I'm going to make this really brief and put off the detail for another video. But I just want to show you how we could fact check this fable. You know, is it true that crows use tools or not? But we want to do that in the structure of a psychological model. So we'll pick crow and pitcher, and what we want to do is fact check. And what we want to fact check is a story. And here are the three parts of the story. The crow is thirsty, it drops pebbles into the pitcher, and it drinks the water. So you can click on this information icon right here, and this takes us to a Wikipedia article that explains bird intelligence and bird tool usage. So we've established the fact that crows actually do this, that this isn't some far-fetched story. So what we want to do now is make connections, and let's actually we'll come here and we will actually need to back up one, and the connections we're trying to make are between different parts. We want to deal with feelings and needs, beliefs, and also outcomes. So the eventual place we're going to wind up is, what is the outcome? And it's a benefit for the crow. In the case of the fox, actually it's a consequence. But these are theme items, and that's what we're trying to connect. The dots in this picture that we're trying to connect are these theme items. And the theme represents what's important. The ideas that are important to connect. So the story is coherent, and it achieves what we want to do. So from the fact checking, we listed the story out, and then we made a connection. And the connection we make is to belief. And what does the crow do with new information? Well, the crow updates its beliefs about displacing water in a pitcher. The fox, who couldn't reach the grapes, doesn't do anything with new information. He jumps as high as he can, and he never reaches it. So he's kind of just ignoring new information and not updating his beliefs. And that's an important attribute about people who lie. You notice they'll ignore facts that you tell them, or they'll blame somebody else, or they'll deny. But this part of belief revision is really important. And I can just show you where belief revision is in Wikipedia, and you could check it out for yourself. But now, so we first started with fact-checking the story, and what we realized is that the crow does update its beliefs about what's going on in the world. So we say that, we give it a 4 out of 5. So we say the perceived truth is likely. Our belief is that crows do understand what they're doing based on what we've read. So we're giving the crow credit for it. Now we're going to connect this to the outcome. So we're going to go from the benefit to we're going to go from updating new information to the benefit. And the benefit is just an elegant solution to solving a difficult problem. The crow obtained the water because the crow is a motivated tactician, but the fox, who acted like a cognitive miser, jumped and didn't get any benefit. In fact, what happened to the fox is that he suffered, some psychological damage, which is cognitive dissonance, meaning that he really didn't update his belief according to what happened. Instead, he took the lame way out and just said that the grapes are sour, and he wasn't interested. So we've made a very simple set of connections. Now, those connections can be much more elaborate. We could include feelings, and I skipped over a lot just to be brief. But here we're just talking about a basic need, eating, all these are linked together, and they form a chain. So this will take us to goal-motivated reasoning, shows us motivated tactician. I just want to make this brief, and I want to elaborate on it more in subsequent videos. The only thing is that if you haven't seen the introductory video, it's called Degree of Belief Whether. You want to check that out because that shows you how different cases are automatically evaluated. So in the case of weather, the most likely case was cloudy, the brighter was a sunny day, and darker was a rainy day. And whether you should wear or bring along sunglasses or an umbrella, that was automatically evaluated by the case. So on a sunny day, you'd bring sunglasses, and on a rainy day, you'd bring an umbrella. And this is the degree of belief equation, or the algorithm. And it has, whoops, went to the wrong place here. And this is the degree of belief algorithm. And basically, these blue colored buttons are showing the result. So that's the comparison for a likely outcome. For a brighter outcome, you can see the degree of belief changes. And for a darker one, you get a different degree of belief, skepticism in this case. And these cases are automated, so you can quickly just scroll through these and just see, well, what would be the better decision when you're linking the different parts of your chain of reasoning. So that's more than what I wanted to get into, but I hope it gives you an idea of how you model a mental process.